Hello, it is Monday. It is day 4 of, the 4th full day of my trip here in Israel-Palestine. So today we have moved out of Jerusalem towards the Sea of Galilee, and it's been amazing. The first few pictures you'll see are of the journey, and that was really interesting. So you get out of Jerusalem and it's desert, but it's not sand, it's huge like mounds of just brown dry earth, and we are in the dry season, so I think it probably looks more dry than it usually would, and then you see these nomadic peoples. I've put on the picture the name because there's so much information, and they live there, and there's these sort of metal tankers of water because there's no water sources for them, and they live out in the desert. I'm not sure if I managed to get a picture of any of the camels, but we did see people with camels sort of wandering around. So that was really interesting, and we came across the Jordan River, and we saw lots of the key cities and different places on our way, and we also saw where Israel grows a huge amount of its food. There was very little is imported into Israel. They grow it all here, and it was amazing to see that. So we then got to Capernaum, and at Capernaum we saw the remains of Simon Peter's mother-in-law. So if you know that story, she was ill and Jesus came and healed her, and then he was talking to the crowds and driving out evil spirits. So I'll show you the ruins for that. It's really interesting, and then all of the houses with windows in, and it was beautiful, and it was really special because it's right on the edge of the lake. So we went down and I ran my hand through the water thinking Jesus could have done the exact same thing here, because I know that he was here and the lake was here, and although some things would have changed, a lot of it won't have, and knowing that I was looking at what Jesus was seeing was one of my favourite moments so far. That was absolutely amazing. And also there was the remains of a synagogue. We're less sure about whether or not that would have been there when Jesus was there, because they reference the synagogue in the sort of Bible passages, but we've been told that sometimes means the building and sometimes it just means a gathering of people. So it is from around the time of Jesus, but there's just less evidence to say whether that was there as it is now when Jesus was there. So then we went from there to the Church of the Multiplication, and you'll see loads of mosaics, and it's this church that was built, I think he said, in the 4th century, so quite close to the time of Jesus, just to honour that place where the miracle happened. And there's some really beautiful mosaics and artwork there. And I got it's a place called Tabqa, which I know because I bought a fish with the loaves and fishes on it to remind me of the name of the church, where that was. And then we went from there up away from the lake, up the mountain to where the Sermon on the Mount would have happened. And there's a church there, I think it's called the Church of the Beatitudes, and it's now a guest house, and we had food there. We had fish from the lake, and I was thinking, I wonder if Jesus ever had this same type of fish. So that was quite exciting. And just seeing it's quite far, like it's really steep coming up from the lake to where he would have been preaching the Sermon on the Mount, and you can imagine why people would have run out of food by the time they'd got up that far from the lake, because it was a 3 or 4 day walk, they said, if you wanted to walk it, and it was it was really interesting thinking about actually what this would have been like, and the effort that Jesus went to, and the effort that they went to follow him and keep up with him. So that was really good. And then we went back down to the lake, closer to Nazareth, and we had a boat ride out, and we did some reflections. We do reflections at each place that we visit. So we did some reflections on the lake, and again, it was amazing. And it was interesting because it's boiling hot day, it's just sunny and blue skies, but suddenly the wind came up, and there were waves, lapping, and it was very sudden. So all of that story about the storm suddenly coming, we could suddenly see it. We didn't have all the rain and the thunderstorm, but we could see how quickly the weather could just shift. So that was really good. And then we got back on the bus where the air conditioning was not working and it was very hot, but that was okay. And we've come to Nazareth, and we're staying in a place, it's the Sisters of Nazareth. So it was run by the Abbey with the nuns, I think it's, yeah, I will check this. And it used to be a school that they had for local people, for local children. And then they wanted bigger premises, so they got some, it would have been a boarding school, so they got a bigger premises outside of the city and turned this into a guest house. And it's lovely. The rooms are huge. There's only 2 of us in here, and we've all got nice ensuite, and there's good internet, and there's nice air conditioning. So it's nice to be here in Nazareth. So it's been a really good day, and nice to do things. I think that up until now we've done lots of things where it's been really hard to connect with the fact that Jesus was really there in person, and actually being and seeing the scenery that he would have seen and would have chosen to be there, and eating the sort of food that he would have been eating has been, yeah, it's been really good. Cool, so that's today. I will put all of the pictures on in case you're interested in seeing those, and see you again soon. Bye. Hi, so this is us at the Sea of Galilee, which is just absolutely beautiful. It's really, really still at the moment, and it feels amazing. We're not allowed to swim, but I did put my hand in and pop my scarf in just to touch the water where Jesus was sailing, and I don't know why, but it felt really, really special. Yes, this is where we are at the moment.